Have you noticed that stitch on your sewing machine that looks like a blind hem stitch, but it is not a blind hem stitch because it's flipped the other direction? What the heck do you do with that stitch? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how to use that stitch and what it is. This stitch can be used two different ways. When you use this stitch on the edge of a fabric, it gets called a shell edge stitch. And when it gets used in the center of a piece of fabric, it gets called a shell tuck. Think of like a pin tuck. They're in the center of a piece of fabric, creating decoration, right? Well, you can use this stitch just like you would a pin tuck. But today we're going to be talking about using this stitch on the edge of a garment, so when you're hemming something. So the shell edge stitch can look very different on different types of fabric. It works best on thinner, lighter fabrics, but you can really add it to any fabric. So today we are going to test it on 5 different fabrics, and you can decide which one you like it best on. We're going to try it on a stretchy lace, we're going to try it on a georgette, we're going to try it on some spandex, we're going to try it on a nice wool, and then we're also going to try it on a lace jersey. Which one do you think is going to look best on? Leave it down below in the comments. Before we start, I want to select my shell edge, but let's take a look at that blind hem. Look at that blind hem right now, and then let's select the shell edge. Look at how similar they look. They basically are just flopping the other way, and then they have a shorter stitch length. Check that out. So you want to double check the settings on your machine. My machine already adjusted for this stitch, but your width should be 4 and your length should be 9, and my thread tension right now is at 6. If you want the edge of your shell stitch to bunch up more and create more of a scallop, you want to increase your thread tension. I'm going to be keeping these settings the same throughout so we can really see how the stitch looks in the different fabrics. First, I'm going to use the stretch lace. So I'm going to run all the fabrics through and then we'll take a look at the end. Now we're going to stitch on the georgette. Now we're going to stitch on the spandex. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to learn about all those stitches on your sewing machine, make sure you check out my online Sewing 101 course. You can find that at the SewingAnastasiaSewingAcademy.com. Links down below. Now we're going to test out the wool. Now we're going to run through the jersey lace. We are all done sewing. It definitely worked better on some fabrics than others. Let's take a look. So the first fabric I tested was this textured stretch lace. And wow, it did not like this one. It took it really uneven because of the uneven texture in the lace. So definitely textured fabrics not working so great for this stitch. The next fabric I tried is the georgette here, and this one turned out nice. We actually have this little scalloped shelled edge happening. This one happens to have a matching thread, so it looks extra nice. I would definitely use this stitch on a chiffon or a georgette. Next we have the spandex swimsuit fabric here, and this one worked really nice, and I think it's because it's really stretchy. It's got like a pretty thick body to it, and it just gave us a beautiful bubble at the hem here, creating that shelled edge. The plaid wool here didn't have any effect. It's because the fabric is so thick, and it's not even that thick, it's bottom weight. But if we increase the tension, it would help that edge pull more, but we might get the stitches looking uneven. So you'd really have to play with that if you have a thicker, flatter fabric to get that where you want it. The lace jersey down here turned out pretty well, stretched a little bit because jersey is so stretchy. I would definitely use this on a jersey sometime, but just use a matching thread. So what do y'all think of this stitch? Do you like it? Are you going to use it? Is it, just not worth your time sewing? Tell me what you think down below in the comments. Me personally, not super in love with this stitch, but it did turn out well on a few of the fabrics. So both the spandex and the georgette here worked really well. So I definitely recommend it on flatter, softer fabrics. I think this stitch would work really well on the edge of a blouse, maybe a silk slip dress, any fabrics that are really nice and have a drapey weight to them. This stitch is gonna work great. Any fabrics with a light hand, this is where this stitch is going to perform its best. So now have some fun, grab some different scraps of fabric and test out this stitch and see what kind of fabrics you like this stitch on. And are there stitches on your sewing machine that you don't know about and you haven't used before? Well, test them out. That's the fun part about sewing, exploring and finding new things. Thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions about this stitch and your experience using it, leave it down below and I'd love to hear about it. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching today. These videos are for you guys. And don't forget to follow me on all the social medias. That way we can stay connected and creative together. And if you're in Chicago, come on into the design studio and take a sewing class with me. You can find those at SewingAnastasia.com. If you're not in Chicago, totally okay. Check out my online sewing classes at SewingAnastasia.com. Join the Pattern a Month and the live virtual sewing circle. We meet once a month. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye.